Hey everyone, so we've got that new Path of Resolution Pioneer Challenge. I found it pretty easy up until I got to level 12. I do have um, the difficulty offset all the way up to 125, so it's as easy it's gonna get. That being said, um, Akambe doesn't seem to have an unshackle skill, which is required to remove Hasna's debuff, some kind of soul something level 3, and basically it causes a life loss if you're more than 2 tiles away from her. I also received that even being within 2 tiles of her. You start off with 2 stacks. If you use an unshackle skill, it disappears. Unfortunately, I can't. I've used all the pots available, so I can't go and redo it. Um, I'd have to wait until next Sunday to do that. But I'll show you what I did to clear it, and we'll go from there. So, because Akambe doesn't have an unshackle skill, I'll just slow this down here. Because Akambe doesn't have an unshackle skill, or using the Shadow Assassins doesn't seem to count as an unshackle skill, whether that's a bug, it's not in the description of his new Ascension skill, but he has no way of removing those buffs. So I opted to go Shams, Lukamar, took my own Hasna. I ended up bringing SP Safia just for the extra attacks. It didn't really seem to make too much of a difference, but the buffs that she gives um, do include dispels, and then she also assists other units with attacks and can have everyone do the team attack, which I do a few times, but it doesn't really seem to add a whole lot. Um, with I can't click on her. With uh, everyone else, they do have unshackle skills. They can remove that soul level 3 buff. Um, so yeah, let's start and we'll stop and go as necessary. Summon the flag. So one thing to point out, I took the flag for the damage reduction for the attack buffs. Definitely helpful. I also took Act Again, never used it. I did also bring, I think it's called Pursuit, where you gain 2 energy and speed. I've used it, I believe, for Hasna and possibly someone else. I don't quite remember. We'll see as we go. So I did take Shams' 2 skills, his AoE for the physical defense 3 reduction, just to be able to have the debuff in play. Pooch Run Run is a huge help in this. So the other thing, as you do shackle skills, it will increase the amount of damage that Hasna takes. So Trump team attack, you can see the damage isn't great yet. Good damage with Shams. I don't know if she's always going to target Hasna there or not, but there is the reduction because of the aroma or fragrance. And Hasna's gone, so it's just clearing up the rest of them. Shams is absolutely, well, played a huge part in doing damage to Hasna. Not too sure what you could replace him with. SP Safia, easily replaceable with Coco, with Tyir is probably one of the better ones, if not Credenza. Though for the speed she has, she's pretty helpful as is. And it's just cleanup. Lukumar takes out a good chunk of them. So I'll just speed that up. The one character I couldn't remember, Homa. I did end up taking her passive along with her multi skill where she can choose between Cool Breeze and the attack, just because when she was getting hit by a fragrance, she was losing her passive ability to just dispel. So, but she's huge help being able to dispel other debuffs to other units. The other nice thing with Sham's skill you see in a moment is he can jump across at least 3 tiles, ignore the height to an extent, or at least to a certain elevation, and that also big help. Speed this up, like I said. So, if anyone is having trouble with the units I've used, with the exception of SP Safia, like I said, you can take Coco, you could take Credenza or Tyre and probably get the same result. But if you are curious to see this done with any other units, please leave a comment, let me know. Next Sunday, when more pots are available or more attempts are available, I'll take a run at it with some other units if requested.